All right, let's dive in because we've got Dems going off the rails claiming that Trump is going to rig the midterms. All right, we're going to start with Joy Reid, two of our favorite people, Joy Reid and James Carville. Wow. Talk about the insane and the deranged. Here we go. Let's dive right in. Trump is going to somehow rig the midterms. Here we go.
Not acting like somebody who worries that his party will lose power. This is somebody who is behaving as an autocrat because they don't anymore believe. He said it during the election. I don't need your votes anymore. And he doesn't. I don't think Trump intends to leave office. I'm very clear about that. I think he intends to stay in office like Putin till he dies.
I went on Jim Acosta's podcast, and I said that I thought that there's a good chance that Trump would try to do something to postpone or fool with the 2026 election. Of course, you had the usual chorus of ass wipes, pontificators, chin scratches, gray beards. Oh, Carville's gone too far. That's what these people are. Gigantic, colossal fools. The polls are going to come in. They're going to be way behind. He knows what's coming. He's going to try to do anything he can to squirm out of taking responsibility.
This is ridiculous. I mean, these people are absolutely unhinged. Trump is going to be crushing it in the midterms, most likely. The only thing that's going to determine the midterms, that's going to swing one way or the other, is the economy. It's going to come down to that old adage, it's the economy, stupid. It's your quote, Carville. It's the economy, stupid. It has nothing to do with the big, beautiful bill and it's upside down 20. It's the only reason the big, beautiful bill is upside down in quote unquote public opinion is because most people don't even know what's in it. And no one's going to judge a bill right now. It's going to be judged over time as it interacts with people, as people interact with it. Now, so this is their line of thinking right now, that Trump is going to rig the midterms. This is what they're saying. This is absolutely crazy town talk. All right, let's dive into more Carville. Then we're going to get into some more Joy Reid, and finally, a panel of people who might actually have a brain. Here we go.
Do you worry about vote tampering in the midterms? Do you worry about Donald Trump and Stephen Miller and some of these types monkeying around with the midterms and the way we do elections in this country? I mean, with what they're trying to pull these days, they don't want accountability. They don't want Democrats getting the gavels in the House and the Senate, be able to hold hearings and start impeachment proceedings and so on. I mean, you worry about that, James?
In a short word, yes. In the longer word, very. Okay, and I don't put anything past him. Nothing. To try to call the election off, to do anything.
This is how deranged these people are. Oh, Trump's going to call off the election. You cannot call off an election in the United States. It's just not going to happen. And you got Joy Reid in the previous clip saying, oh, he's not governing. He's governing like he's an autocrat. He doesn't care. He doesn't need you. If Trump actually wanted to stay in office for a third term, he would have to have the overwhelming support of the people. The idea that I don't need your vote because I'm just going to mandate no, that would never happen in this country without the overwhelming support of the people. You've got 70 million gun owners in the country. You could turn the entire military on this country. Unless you're going to burn it to the ground, you will lose. You don't have enough people. You just strictly can't do it. That has been proven time and again in places like Afghanistan and Vietnam and elsewhere. Low intensity guerrilla warfare. If you have the numbers and you have the hearts and minds, you will always win. And with 70 million gun owners, there is no way the United States military could hold off forever. That's the same reason why this country will never be conquered from without. Because you could roll up here. China could roll up here with a 5 million person army. We could open the door and let them land on Malibu Beach, all up and down the West Coast. You've got 70 million gun owners. You can bring in tanks. They will eventually overwhelm any attacking force. So the idea that Trump is just going to stay in office is utter and complete nonsense. It is utter lunacy. It is really TDS on steroids, Trump derangement, 100%. Now, let's get back in with Joy Reid, because here's Joy Reid again. She's been trumpeting this nonsense on a couple shows now. Check this out.
Democrats say to me, this is the reason we have to coalesce for 2026. I always add to the end of that sentence, yeah, assuming we actually have free and fair elections. I think it's insane, honestly, to just assume we're going to have normal elections next year. I don't assume that because these Republicans, let me give you an example. 16 House Republicans, okay, wrote down and signed their names and signatures saying that this big billionaire bailout bullshit bill is going to hurt
That's exactly how you should call it.
Yeah, it is going to hurt their own constituents. They said it. They wrote it down. They said this bill is an abomination. It's going to hurt our people. And then all but one of them.
No, they didn't. They didn't say it was an abomination. They said it would hurt some of their constituents. But the flip side, not passing the bill would hurt far more of their constituents because it would be the biggest tax hike in American history. So they realized that no, it would hurt far more of their constituents to not pass it than to pass it. Is it going to hurt some? Absolutely. If you consider illegal aliens your constituents, if you consider freeloaders on Medicaid constituents, because we have work requirements now to get SNAP and Medicaid benefits. That's the only there are no cuts. There are simply work requirements for SNAP and Medicaid, and it's kicking illegals, non-citizens, off of government welfare. That's it. So that's the only thing that's happening. But here you've got Joy Reid and the other Democrats absolutely accusing Republicans of what they've been doing for the last multiple years. Suddenly, they don't have USAID funneling tens of billions of dollars into their campaign coffers, into Media Matters, into censorship. They don't have any of that, and they're looking at getting trounced in the midterms. So their immediate narrative is, oh, it's all rigged. Trump rigged it. Trump rigged it. And if at any point in time it looks like Trump's going to lose, he's going to stop the election. This is absolute and utter lunacy and nonsense. Now, let's check out, because Bill O'Reilly, who is fairly middle of the road. I mean, he's not a Trump fan. He doesn't hate Trump. He's not a Trump fan. He was on a panel show, and I thought he had some very normal things to say. Here we go.
Cooking with gas. James Carville, you were on my old buddy Jim Acosta's show, and you said, hey, people tell you they're worried about the midterms, and you say you should be, because there's a good chance that Trump will try to pull something. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I don't know. What I think is going to happen is Virginia and New Jersey are going to be Democratic blowouts. And I think he's going to read the election. By the way, there are more people that live in Virginia and New Jersey than live in New York City. And we ought to talk also, we talk about things that happen in New York City. We should talk about we got Sterling candidates also in Virginia and New Jersey. And I think he's going to see this big, beautiful bill is about 25 points underwater. It's going to be 30 points underwater. He's going to see a massive defeat coming, and he's going to try to do anything he can to extricate himself from that defeat. And I would not put it at all past him to try to call martial law or declare that there's some kind of national emergency in the country or anything like that, because the hoof prints are coming. You can hear them, and they're going to get a shellacking in November of 2026.
Bill O'Reilly, do you believe the President of the United States is capable of...
You're not going to get a shellacking. The Democrats currently have an approval rating, depending on the poll you look at, between 17 and 21%. The only people going to get shellacked are the Democrats. This is crazy. Trump's got an approval rating in the 60s.
Such perfidy as suggested by James Carville.
Well, after hearing Carville, I'm buying a condo in Luxembourg tomorrow. I'm getting out. Martial law, my God. You're going to have tanks in my driveway? No, I don't believe that will happen. I'm be willing to bet James 18 muffalettas that there will not be martial law. I'll throw in some crawfish and whatever else he wants. And this kind of, I don't know, scare tactic, would that be it? I'm not scared. Maybe Stephen A's a little scared. He's got a little perspiration there on his forehead. But I'm not worried about cheating or anything else. I think that the economy will dictate who wins.
The economy will absolutely dictate. If the economy is roaring, it's going to be a Trump landslide, and he will absolutely gain seats in Congress. If the economy is faltering, then he will probably lose seats in Congress. That's what this is going to come down to. Or if The only other thing that could possibly mess up the midterms is something like the story that we just had, where people suddenly lose trust in not only the Trump administration, but the Republican MAGA agenda in general. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know how we're doing. If you could, share this content with everybody that you know. Let's break the YouTube algorithm